They say you don't win the locker room with highlight reels. You win it with presence, with precision, with the kind of quiet dominance that doesn't need a microphone, just a football and a huddle. And right now, in the heart of Cleveland, Browns training camp, something is happening. Something real. Something the depth chart doesn't reflect, but the entire roster feels. This isn't a story about hype. This is about a fifth-round pick walking into a haunted quarterback room and flipping the energy on its head. No preseason snaps, no headlines. And yet, the veterans are leaning in. The coaches are watching close. The crowd is buzzing. Sanders? Sanders didn't ask for the spotlight. He earned it. And whether the league is ready or not, he's here to take over. I've watched a lot of quarterback stories unfold in Cleveland, but I've never seen anything like what's happening. Right now with Sanders, no preseason snaps. No primetime heroics. Not a single viral welcome to the NFL moment. And yet somehow Sanders has this Browns camp in a headlock. I'm not exaggerating. You can feel it. The locker room whispers. The sideline glances. Away veterans. Subtly shift toward him during downtime like he's already wearing the crown. Coaches, they're trying to play it cool like it's business as usual. But I promise you, they see it too. Everybody does. The media. We went from calling him an interesting day 3 project to hold up. Is this guy actually the one? And it took less than a week? Now, you've got Myles Garrett, the face of our defense, muttering to reporters, the kid's got something. That's not a throwaway line. That's gold. Garrett doesn't hand out compliments like candy. He says you've got it. Believe me, you do. And then there's Jerry Jeudy. Asked a lazy question about how the rookies are looking. He didn't give a generic soundbite. He didn't even blink. Just tilted his head toward the field right as Sanders launched back-to-back red zone missiles and said, "Y'all see what he's doing? Right? That ain't rookie stuff. That right there? That was the moment." Everything shifted when guys like Jeudy start vouching for you unprompted. It means you're not waiting for permission anymore. Respect isn't pending. It's already yours. Let's not get it twisted. The depth chart still says QB2. Coaches are still running rotations like this is some meritocratic quarterback utopia. Let's be real. When the so-called backup is lighting up the starting defense and threading lasers through second-team reps like it's 7-on-7 in Boulder, that's not routine growth. That's a stress test. And Sanders is passing it with surgical precision. I've heard it with my own ears. Defensive huddles. Muttering, "Yo, we gotta tighten up. He's carving us up." That's not media spin. That's coming from a unit led by one of the scariest humans in football, Myles freaking Garrett. And look, Sanders doesn't walk like a rookie, doesn't talk like one, doesn't carry himself like someone trying to make the team. Steps into that huddle like he owns it, calm, poised, not fake confidence either. This is forged in fire composure. You don't get that from a playbook? You get that from surviving the media furnace in Colorado, navigating nil chaos, being raised and challenged by Coach Prime himself. That pressure didn't crack him, it refined him. I've watched his 2-minute drills. They're not frantic. They're clinical. The dude predicts pressure like he's watching a replay in real time, shifts protections with clarity, adjusts routes with hand signals like he's been in the league for 5 years. When the pocket collapses, he doesn't flinch. He adapts. That's not just talent. That's something deeper. That's leadership. That's presence. And the locker room feels it. Here's what makes all this so crazy. Sanders isn't just a quarterback. He's a brand, a whole movement. You think that's a distraction? I used to, but now I see it. The brand works because the ball doesn't lie. The spiral is tight, the reads are sharp, its poise is unshakable. And when the cameras stop rolling and the lights go off, the kid is still grinding. His footwork, elite, his accuracy, NFL ready, his understanding of the moment, that's what's different. That's what's rare. He knows what this team's been through. The carousel, the heartbreak, the promises that never panned out. He's not here to add to that pile. He's here to torch it. Every team has a guy who looks good in practice, but not every team has a guy who makes everyone else look better. With Sanders under center, routes are sharper. Blocking is crisper. Even the backups are running like they're catching dimes from a franchise QB, because they are. You see that effect? That ripple? That's leadership before the title. And the scary part, he hasn't even taken a preseason snap yet. I've covered enough camps to know locker rooms aren't fooled by hype. They know who's real before the media does. And right now, behind closed doors, Sanders is the only thing anyone's talking about. Some guys are impressed. Some are stunned. A few are just laughing. Like, how is this rookie already playing like a 10-year vet? One player, and this stuck with me, joked, he practices like he's getting paid double. And honestly, no, that might be the most accurate scouting. Report I've heard all camp. He's not just earning reps, he's rewriting expectations. He's not on schedule, he is the schedule. And the staff, well, they're stuck in a dilemma now. Do they protect the depth chart, or do they protect the win column? Because keeping Sanders on the sideline much longer might not just slow momentum. It could fracture the trust in that locker room. Players know when a guy's outplaying the starter, they feel it. And if they start thinking politics are getting in the way of performance, that's how cracks form. Not from losing, from lying, from pretending. This team doesn't need another quarterback. Headline, it needs a heartbeat, a presence. A guy who shows up, sharpens the offense, and earns it every single day. And right now, that's Sanders. He didn't sneak into Cleveland. He arrived, loud, clear, and undeniable. The question isn't, will he be the guy? It's, how long can you ignore what's already happening? Because this feels different. This feels real. And if you're paying attention, you know exactly what I mean. I've been around this game long enough to recognize a shift when it happens. Not the kind you see on a depth chart or in a press release, but the kind that starts quietly and then flips everything upside down. Let me tell you right. Now, that shift has a name, Sanders. The Browns can pretend it's business as usual. They can talk about developmental timelines and QB competitions. But the truth, that's already out the window, because Sanders didn't just show up to camp. He detonated it. He's changed the temperature in the room. The players feel it, the coaches feel it. Oh, fans, they're already whispering it out loud. He's not the future. He's the now. This kid walked into Cleveland and without even starting a game, became the gravitational center of the entire franchise. Think about that. Before he took a single snap under the lights, the veterans had already started leaning. His way, the energy shifted. And once that happens, there's no going back. You can't unsee leadership, can't unfeel momentum. That toothpaste doesn't go back in the tube. This isn't about who starts week 1 anymore. It's about how long the Browns can keep pretending that Sanders isn't already QB1, because eventually, the dam will break. And when it does, it's going to flood everything. Now I know Cleveland. This city's had more quarterback drama than a Netflix docuseries. Every training camp becomes a stage, every throw a referendum. And in that chaos, something is boiling under the surface. Dylan Gabriel might be keeping calm for the cameras, but on the field, you can see the cracks, footwork rushing, confidence dipping, because deep down, he knows he was supposed to be next, and now he might already be yesterday's story, Because Sanders doesn't just walk on the field, he commands it. Time he steps in, the air changes. Receivers tighten their roots. Coaches edge closer. Even the janitor slows his broom like he knows something's happening. That's not hype. That's presence, Dot, and Kevin Stefanski. He's standing at a crossroads. Do you stick with the script, or do you follow the energy? Stefanski's always been a structure guy. Process, patience, measured steps. But Sanders is not built for slow play. It's kicking down timelines and shredding blueprints. The question isn't, is he ready? It's how long can you ignore that he is? Even ownership's getting antsy. Jimmy Haslam, I'm hearing whispers that he's already asking questions. If he's the best guy, why isn't he starting? And that's not a whisper that stays quiet for long. That kind of inquiry rattles buildings. So how did we get here? It starts with a few simple throws. In practice, nothing flashy, nothing headline-worthy. But then, all of a sudden, things. Click! The ball's moving faster, the tempo lifts. The backups start looking like starters. And everyone, from trainers to coordinators, starts giving each other that look. You know the one. Wait, is this actually happening? Cleveland didn't plan for this. Deshaun's still out here trying to find the player he once was while racking up more guaranteed cash than the GDP of small countries. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, still raw, still roller coaster. And then there's this fifth rounder, a guy they claimed was just best player available. Out here playing like he's allergic to mediocrity. But Sanders isn't some TikTok sensation or legacy hire. He's the guy who threw for over 3,000 yards behind a line made of broken dreams and busted assignments. He was under siege every snap and still delivered. Calm, calculated, cold, Dot, and the haters. They called him overhyped, privileged, flashy. But the tape, it tells the real story. This kid reads the field like it owes him money. He's not rattled. He's not just reacting, he's diagnosing, dissecting, quarterbacking. So Stefanski decides to play it slow. Keep him with the twos. Don't feed the beast. And honestly, I get it. It's smart, strategic. He's not hiding Sanders. He's letting him cook in the shadows. He's giving him the reps without the spotlight, the pressure, the circus, because when that spotlight finally hits, Stefanski wants him ready. Not just available, ready to lead, ready to strike, ready to win, and the numbers, they're not even close. Internal metrics say he's separating himself, not by inches, but by miles. NFL insiders are talking. Pro Football Focus is buzzing. Sanders' processing speed, his anticipation, his command, they're elite, not Josh Allen's cannon, not Lamar's legs. Something different, something rarer. Football IQ, graduate level. Decision-making, surgical execution. And guess what? That's exactly what Stefanski's system thrives on. Remember what he did with Baker? Imagine what he could do with a quarterback who actually fits. And now we're seeing the master plan unfold. Sources inside the Browns say it plainly. Sanders doesn't look like a fifth-round flyer. Looks like a second-round steal. Maybe even more. And here's the part no one's admitting publicly. They're not just hoping he's ready this season. They're preparing for it. This isn't if. This is when. Because let's be real. Pickett and Flacco. They're Bridges, stopgaps, and Gabriel. Even some insiders are starting to question if he was ever really the guy. But Sanders, he's becoming undeniable. Coaches feel it. Teammates respond to it. Fans are already buying in. And every time he takes the field, it becomes harder and harder to pretend he's just a backup. I've seen the shift firsthand. When Sanders lines up under center, it's different. Sharper, cleaner, realer. You don't fake that kind of command. You don't teach it, either Dot and Stefanski. He's playing chess, slow-rolling the media, shielding the kid, letting the pressure build quietly behind the scenes. Because when the moment comes, and it will, he's not throwing out a rookie with big eyes and shaky legs. He's unleashing a weapon sharpened in silence. This is the long game, the Brady formula, the Rodgers route. And if this keeps trending the way it is, Cleveland might not just have a quarterback, they might have an ERA. And trust me, when that moment hits, we're all going to remember exactly when the tide turned, because it's already happening, and his name is Sanders. If you felt that shift, if you see what I see in Sanders, then this is just the beginning. This channel is where we break the stories before they break the headlines, where we follow every snap, every whisper, every moment that matters. So if you're riding this wave with me, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Sanders already QB1 in your eyes? Let me know. Let's talk football the way it's meant to be talked about. Raw, real, and unfiltered. See you in the next one.